What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more William Shatner. And once again, let's start by giving a big shout out to friend and champion of the channel, Han Solo, who's made not only the Shats material available, but also Leonard Nimoy and a million other artists. I did want to quickly mention in regard to that, and also, you know, Adam shared a ridiculous amount of music with me. Philip has obviously shared a lot of music with me. Much of it I still have to go through. And also, you know, Izzy and others have sent me individual tunes. Kim has sent me some tunes recently. There's a few more deep dives I'm going to try to start, but I am going to try to knock down some few before taking on too many more, meaning that the overall number, I'd like to keep it just about where it is now. I feel like, you know, even Atlas would struggle to take on too many more beyond what I'm doing now, which again, I am going to try to start a few more, one from Han Solo's request, a couple from Kim. Cynthia has sent me some Judas Priest, which it's a name I know, but I've never listened to them, so yeah, there'll be some different things coming, but I'm going to try to knock down, you know, The Devils. It's one album, and I think, very close to finishing it. TV Mania, a related group, if you will. There's only one album there, so I am going to try to put some to bed before I turn the page and start too many more. So that's all a long way of saying, Han Solo, I massively appreciate you, but yeah, whether it's the music he's made available or others, I'll try to get to everything. I just don't want to, like, you know, overstretch myself to the point where everybody begins to grumble that I'm not getting around to certain deep dives regularly enough, and saying regularly always seems like such a tongue-twisting adventure. Nevertheless, we're going to listen to Space Truckin', which, you know, this album's seeking Major Tom, and again, shout out to Han Solo. I realized after I had done a few tunes that he mentioned it's basically a concept album. It's, you know, meant to be experienced from beginning to end. There's an overall narrative, which is interesting because it feels like a bunch of the tunes are covers, or at least mostly covers, maybe with some lines or titles adapted. But yeah, I'm not sure how many of them are original tunes, but for sure several of them are covers. So it's interesting to tell a larger narrative in what becomes a concept album, even though all of the songs and their lyrics are not your own. So that's an interesting way to take a large look at, or make a large statement about the Major Tom character and motif. So yeah, it's cool. We're going to listen to Space Truckin', and that's Truckin' with an N apostrophe, not a G, which makes me think that if this is a cover, and admittedly, you know, folk, country, like trucker music, which I think is sort of, you know, within that folk country Venn diagram, it's like a subgenre. Yeah, it's not, none of those fields are my area of expertise. To be clear, I got nothing against them. It's just that, you know, growing up, I never listened to much country music or too much folk music. Now, eventually, as I became an adult, I listened to Dylan and some other people who I think are considered folk musicians, at least on some level. But yeah, it wasn't a style, nor country. They weren't styles that I grew up listening to, so I don't have much knowledge there. So if this is a cover, I'm thinking either it's just called Truckin', or maybe the original is called Road Truckin', or, you know, Country Truckin', and therefore if you put space on it, it translates it into Shatner's take on the Major Tom narrative. So yeah, if it's a cover, I'm not aware of the original, so, you know, I wouldn't know what to expect in that regard. If it is an original tune, I think it's funny to take the idea of trucking into space, and indeed, I guess that applies whether it's a cover or an original tune. But yeah, the idea of trucking, you know, you're in an 18-wheeler with one of those mesh baseball caps on, and, you know, perhaps those classic 80s reflective sunglasses, and maybe a toothpick in the side of your mouth, and you're pulling the horn, but you're actually like rotating Jupiter or something, so, or orbiting, I should say. Nevertheless, let's get to it. This is William Shatner. The tune is Space Truckin', and it's on the album Seeking Major Tom.
Ball on Mars, meeting all the groovy people. We've rocked the Milky Way so far. We dance around with Borealis
country and more,
Come on!
I don't know, blues rock? I'm not
Come
sure.
on, let's go space truckin'. Remember when we did the moonshot?
This feels kind of bossa nova though.
Led the way. We moved to the Canaveral moonstop when every knot would dance and sway. We got music in our solar system. We're space trucking around the stars.
In our solar system.
Come on! Come on! Come on, let's go space trucking. Come on!
I hope he does this
Come
live
on.
and people really get into it.
Come on, let's go space trucking.
I can see him like
Fireball we
angry
roll,
face with a
must
crowd
moving.
of, you know, like 80s
But now we
punchers.
got a new machine. Yeah, 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 yeah. The freak said, man, those cats can really swing. They got music in their solar system.
I see what you're doing, Mrs.
They
Shatner.
rock round the Milky Way. They dance round the Borealis. They're space trucking every day. Come on!
Great
Come
drum in there.
on! Come on! Space trucking, come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Let's go space trucking!
Definitely blues rock. Blues rock, bossa nova, space trucking. Filth. Muddy Waters? Who are we listening to?
Come on! Come on! Come on, let's go space trucking! Come on! Come on! Come on, let's
Something
go
so
space
weirdly
trucking!
compelling about his music.
Come
I don't know, like, it's
Come
so
on.
silly,
Come on, let's go space trucking!
but
Come
it's
on.
fun in how weird it
Come
is.
on!
No matter
Come
what
on, let's
genre
go
or like
space trucking.
subject matter. The drumming. The soft drone of a space station. We're not done.
Though I'm past 100,000 miles, I'm feeling very still. And I think my spaceship knows which way to go.
Leading into
Tell
the
my wife I love her
aforementioned Peter
very
Shotton
much.
cover.
She knows.
But again, that spaceship drone, which like if you pay attention to any sci-fi show which takes place in large part on a spaceship, there's always that background drone that is apparently standard, and we've figured that if we ever get out into space, hearing essentially, I guess, the engines constantly will be a staple of our sonic experience. Nevertheless, a really cool tune, different than I thought, not as country as I thought, not as folk as I thought, more bossa nova jazz in the slower, groovier sections, and then the chorus, it felt more blues rock. The solo obviously had a blues guitar feel. The drumming was fantastic throughout the track, so once again it makes me curious about the musicians he was working with. And again, his vocals, they're hilarious. In a way, you find, like, at least I find myself kind of rooting for him, even though it's so bizarre. And again, I'd love to see that performed live, where he's really, getting the scowly face with those come-ons, and a bunch of old school punkers are in the front, like right up in his face. Come on, that would be fantastic. So yeah, let me know what you think of this one. I'll see you next time. Peace.